Hello friends, Kisol here. Welcome to the second part of this 9-part series about the life of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. In the first part, we examined the annunciation of the birth of Jesus, the census in Bethlehem, the birth of Jesus, the Son of God, and Jesus being born in a stable in Bethlehem. In this second part, we will continue and examine 1. The star of Bethlehem as a herald of the birth of the Savior. 2. The star and the wise men from the east. 3. The shepherds in the field. And 4. The wise men finding Jesus and presenting earthly material gifts. These are very important topics, so please stay tuned and don't go away. Now, the first topic in this chapter will be the star as a herald of the birth of Jesus Christ. Now, a comet or star appeared when Jesus was born. This star guided the 3 wise men to the exact location where Jesus was born. The comet is like a herald of that birth and a greeting from God the Father to his Son. The star was seen by Joseph and Mary and many others around the time of the birth of Jesus. The appearance of a comet or a star like this one in particular always indicates that great momentous spiritual events are happening. Now, the second topic in this chapter is about the star and the wise men from the east. The 3 wise men saw the star and they followed this star as a guide until it came to stand over the stable where Jesus had just been born. The star was the herald for the birth of Jesus and also served as a guide so that the 3 wise men might be able to locate Jesus. Otherwise, it would have been close to impossible to find him. They found Jesus as they were meant to do spiritually. The question, though, is, why would the star guide the 3 wise men to find Jesus? Was there a particular reason why these men were chosen or induced to travel from their kingdoms to look for the infant Jesus? This question has not been answered up until now, but the events of the massacre of the innocents showed the important roles these men could have played in the earthly protection they could have offered Jesus if they had fully fulfilled their missions. The next topic we'll look into in this chapter is that of the shepherds in the field. An angel appeared to shepherds in the field, announcing to them the birth of the Son of God. The shepherds were simple, intuitive people who believed the angel and went back to their villages and spread the news of the birth of the Savior. These were simple, natural people who were still open to spiritual things and were thus able to see the angel and the heavenly hosts surrounding him. The shepherds were allowed to be the bearers of great news of the birth of the Savior, and through them the news spread very rapidly of the birth of the Son of God. This is a very important event as it marked the announcement of the birth of the Son of God, which indeed must be announced to the whole world as a world event. The purity and simplicity of these shepherds allowed them to be worthy enough to be the bearers of this great tidings. It was a great experience which they absorbed and took with them on their further journeys. Now we go back again to the topic of the 3 wise men finding Jesus and presenting earthly material gifts. The 3 wise men were able to locate Jesus with the guidance of the comet or star. Why would the star guide them though? It showed that these men had important roles to play in the life of Jesus. Why would they have been guided from such faraway places so that they could locate Jesus? Why would they have been prompted to make such a long and arduous journey? They found Jesus all right, as they had been guided to do. They offered earthly gifts in the form of frankincense, gold, and myrrh. They offered earthly gifts and then went their way again. This does not seem to make any sense. Why come all the way and then just offer gifts and then depart again? Could these men have had a greater role to play in the life of Jesus? Could they have offered to take Jesus with them and offer him the protection that is sorely needed? Could they have taken Jesus into their kingdoms so that he will grow up sheltered to await the beginning of his mission? Coming all the way to find him and then offering earthly material gifts does not make much sense, unless one thinks of it in this sense of the greater role they ought to have played in the life of Jesus, the Son of God. In fact, the immediate events after they left showed the importance of the protection they should have provided. Jesus was pursued and his life was threatened by Herod, who massacred the innocents. Thank you again for listening. Part 3 of this series will examine the massacre of the innocents, the flight to Egypt, the arduous journey back to Nazareth, and the upbringing of Jesus. For more information about the Grail Message, please go to the websites thegrailmessage.info or spiritualknowledge.org or grailmessage.com. You can also go to the Facebook page, Introduction to the Grail Message. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.